Shall we start, ma'am? Good afternoon, ma'am. Okay. Good afternoon to one and all present here on the day 5 of second session. With this, I welcome our next guest speaker, Lion Dr. K. Sai Leela, Assistant Professor, Department of Education and Coordinator, Women Self-Defense Training Center, Annamalai University. Ma'am has 16 years of teaching experience and she has been awarded with lot of awards, such as she has been awarded by Annamalai University as Best Young Woman Researcher, awarded by Lions Club International, Velu Nachiyar, Sadhanai Pengal Virundu. She has been awarded by Tamil Sangam Chennai as Dr. Radhakrishnan Award. Also, she has been awarded by National Eminent Educator Award by International Institute of Organized Research, Chandigarh, India. She has also received Best Woman Researcher Award by Annamalai University, Best Researcher Award by Annamalai University, Leadership Excellence Award by Institute of Research, Wayanad, Kerala, World Teacher 2021 by Red Pond Educational and Psychological Research Center, India and UK, Best Researcher Award again in 2021 by Annamalai University. She is also a member of NAC Secretariat Committee in Annamalai University and also a member of Internal Complaints Committee, RMMC, Annamalai University. She has completed projects such as Attitude of Teachers Trainees towards Inclusive Education in relation to their readiness of inclusive classroom, sponsored by PMMN MTT GRI Dindigal. She has also completed the project of the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on health consciousness, hygiene behavior awareness about healthy living and post-pandemic lifestyle among adolescent, RUSA 2.0. She has been guest speaker for many programs in schools and colleges. She has recently delivered lectures on e-content development and evaluation, which is organized by CTE Chennai. She was a resource person for 3-day national level webinar and workshop for that organized by CTE. She has also acted as a resource person for national level webinar lesson plan, delivered a lecture on lesson plan for teaching mathematics organized by Department of Education, Annamalai University. She also acted as a resource person for the national level webinar Teaching Profession as a Career, delivered a lecture on the topic Teaching in a Digital Era organized by Annamalai University, keynote speaker for the national level webinar Pedagogical Approaches in Teacher Education organized by Ponnakalli Amman College of Education and Arasu College of Education for Women, Karur. Acted as a resource person for National FDP on Advanced Pedagogy organized by Hindustan College of Engineering and Technology, Coimbatore. Acted as a resource person for the online faculty development program on digital teaching techniques organized by Amman College of Arts and Science, Dindigal. Again, she has been a keynote speaker for the 1-week online faculty development program. She has delivered a topic Digital Content Creation Tools organized by Dr. NGEP Institute of Technology, Center for Faculty Development, Coimbatore. She was also a keynote speaker for the 3-day online faculty development program on e-content development organized by the Angels College of Education. She was a resource person for 2-day international webinar Paradigm Shift in Education Research organized by Vivekananda Group of B.Ed College in association with TNTEU and delivered a lecture on educational research, a new perspective. She was a resource person for 3 days online workshop on e-presentation techniques organized by Pondicherry Excellence. She was a resource person for many more things. Even if I start, I will take the ma'am's time, so better I will go for the next thing. Again, she is organizing secretary for 5 national level seminars organizing secretary for 17 workshops, and organizing secretary for 15 online programs. She has participated in more than 75 international and national seminars, and she has published more than 25 research articles and 12 books. With this, I welcome ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your nice introduction. Thank you so much. I'd like to thank the organizing committee of this program, the chief patron, Mr. A.N. Radhakrishnan, Chancellor, Mrs. Jayanti Raj Radhakrishnan, Rector, Patron, Professor Dr. S. Neelakandan, Vice Chancellor, Additional Patron, Professor Dr. C. Kritika, Registrar, Convener Dr. Shyam Sivasamy, Director IQAC, Organizing Secretary Dr. R. Elagavan sir, Professor and Yet, and Coordinators Dr. S. Murugesan, Dr. V. Subulakshmi, Dr. G. Ramakrishnan, Mr. A. Annadurai. I like to thank all the organizing committee members and also PhD scholars and students of this institution, Meenakshi Academy of Higher Education and Research. Once again, thank you for giving me the opportunity. Let me come from the another device. Ma'am, I'll come from the other device.
Okay, ma'am. Participants, please wait. She is connecting through other device.
Good afternoon, one and all. Today we are going to see about learning objectives. Before going to learning objectives, let us go and check what is learning and what is the definition and some theories behind learning. Okay, let me share my screen. Is my screen visible, ma'am?
It's getting shared, ma'am. Yeah, it's visible.
Yes, I think. Okay.
Yeah, it's visible now.
If it is visible, please inform me.
Yes, it's full screen visible.
Screen is visible, ma'am, or not yet?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible. Full screen, it is visible. Can you hear me, ma'am?
I have shared on PPT.
It's visible, ma'am.
Ma'am, you can start now.
Okay, I think the screen has shared.
It's yeah,
What
it is shared.
learning? What is actually learning? Learning is defined as any relatively permanent change in behavior that occurs as a result of practice and experience. This is what we say, what is learning. Any relatively permanent change in behavior that occurs as a result of practice and experience. So in order to provoke learning, we have to frame our objectives according to the changes that we should bring among the students. So this is actually the definition for learning. There are a lot of theories for learning that was put forward by the educationist.
Ma'am, you are not audible.
So these are the 4 foundational learning theory domains: behaviorist, cognitive, constructivist, and motivation or humanistic theories. So we have already 4 fundamental learning theory domains. So each one tell us something about learning, and each one has stories for that. There are many stories behind each learning theory. It is very interesting. Whether it is okay now, I could see that my bandwidth is very low. Now it's okay.
Yes, ma'am, it is okay now. Can you hear me, ma'am? It's going well.
So this is cognitive theory.
Ma'am, your voice is feeble, breaking.
Behavior, let us go for first behaviorist theory. Here, this theory includes an assumption that student learning behaviors may be shaped by specific actions that lead to specific responses. From a behavioristic perspective, reinforcement plays a vital role. It increases the likelihood of the learning behavior occurring on a consistent basis. This is about behavioristic theory. See here, they have used the word reinforcement. Here, reinforcement plays a vital role. This theory is the reason for programmed instruction. According to programmed instruction, it is based on the Skinner, one of the psychologists. Psychology is one of the method of instruction that can be given to the students, and it is based on
Participants, due to some network issue, I think ma'am has got disconnected. Ma'am, your voice is not. Ma'am, your voice is not coming. Ma'am, are you there? Are you there?
is it okay?
Yeah, voice is breaking, ma'am.
Please wait. One minute, please. 1 minute.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Is that okay now?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it okay now?
Yes, ma'am. You can go ahead. Yes, ma'am. Can you hear
So
me?
I was speaking about behaviorist theory. The method that is behind this theory is programmed instruction. Next, let us go and discuss about next theory. Theory. It is an alternative theory to the behaviorist approach. Cognitive theories seek to explain how mind works during the learning information process that informs outcomes. Central to cognitive approach is the understanding that individuals must participate actively in the learning process rather than just responding to stimuli. This we are going to discuss in the learning objectives time in after a few minutes. Next, let us go for the motivation theories. Here, it focuses on the whole person of the learner, that is cognitive and affective. The humanistic theory of learning involves the concept of learning through watching the behavior of others. So here, learning comes out of observation. Learning comes out as a result of observation. And the next theory is about constructivist approach. Here, the learner, I need more. Learner as a constructor of knowledge and new learning is shaped by their own past experience. The students construct their own learning by the past experience and they transfer their knowledge to increase new skill development that may be universally applied. So there are about 4 theories that seen as behaviorist, cognitive, constructivist, and motivation or humanistic theories. So there are many other theories also. Let me tell about context learning that takes place by trial and error method. So learning takes place by trial and error method. So when no ready-made solution of a problem is available to the learner, he adapts the method of trial and error. He rejects it, then he tries another one. In this way, he eliminates error or irrelevant responses which do not serve the purpose and finally discovers the correct solution. So learning takes place according to conduct by trial and error. The learner himself goes for the trial and gets corrected. In learning, the learner selects a correct response out of a large number of possible ones and connects it with appropriate stimulus. And this is called trial and learning theory. So there are a lot of learning theories that is put forward by the psychologists and educationists before. There are about 3 laws of learning. This we can see afterwards. Teaching, therefore, must be pleasing. The educators must obey the greater the satisfaction, stronger will be the motive to learn. This intensity is an important condition by the law of effect, the last one that we are going to discuss later about the 3 laws of learning. Here is another important theory called Gagne's hierarchy of learning. Gagne's hierarchy of learning. So let us see what is Gagne's hierarchy of learning. See, this is Gagne's hierarchy. The lowest level is signal learning. Next level is stimulus response. Next one is chaining, verbal association, discriminant learning. Next one is concept learning, rule learning, and problem solving. So this is the Gagne's famous hierarchy of learning. See, this hierarchy is from the lowest level is from signal learning, and the last one is problem solving. Learners start learning from signal, then according to the stimulus, they respond, then they chain the learning, then they associate with verbal, they discriminate, they learn by concept, they learn by rule, and finally they learn hierarchy of learning. So what is signal learning? This signal learning was put forward by Paulo. It is about classical conditioning. See, this is
Excuse me, ma'am. You are not audible. Excuse me, ma'am. Can we share the PPT, ma'am?
So this is Pavlov's dog's experiment. Pavlov first demonstrated this theory with a dog. He did a minor operation on the dog, enabling easier measuring of salivation. The dog was trained by ringing a bell every time after it was served food. After the bell, it was served food. It was trained in such a way that after each and every bell, it got food. Soon, the dog associated the sound of the bell with food. That caused the reflex of salivating. So this was the theory that was put forward by Pavlov, named as classical conditioning. So whenever bell rings, the saliva will be released from the dog's mouth. So this is classical conditioning. What he says, according to Pavlov, it is learning through association. It is a Russian physiologist. In simple terms, two stimuli are linked together to produce a new learned response in a person or animal. In simple terms, two stimuli are linked together to produce a new learned response in a person or animal. This is what a theory given by Pavlov in the name of classical conditioning. Another one is what I told before, the behaviorist theory is operant conditioning. It involves developing desired stimulus response bonds in the subject through a carefully planned reinforcement schedule based on the use of rewards and punishments. In this type of conditioning that form the basis of program learning in all its various manifestations. So what is operant conditioning? It is developing desired stimulus response bonds by carefully planned reinforcement. So it is what I told as program instruction or programmed learning. The subject material should be given to the students in such a way that he gets reward of his study. So it is a method of learning that occurs through rewards and punishment for behavior. Through operant conditioning, an individual makes an association between a particular behavior and a consequence. So this he demonstrated with another one experiment. It is called Skinnerian conditioning or radical behaviorism. So what he did is he placed the rat in the machine. It is a machine that is prepared in such a way that whenever it touches electric grid or something, it gets food. It gets food. So when the rat is hungry, the rat doesn't know that the food will be available when the electric grid is touched. What he will do is, when he is hungry, he will be roaming here and there in the machine. Suddenly, when he touches that liver, he will get the food. So each time, whenever the rat is hunger, it will be roaming inside the machine and it will touch the liver and it will get the food. So whenever an action is ended with an reward, that action will be repeated. So this is what given by Skinnerian, and that is kept in the programmed instruction. Whenever a question is asked to the student, one easy question, when the student answers the question, he gets rewarded and he feels happy that his answer is correct and he is motivated to learn. So this is Skinnerian's conditioning. So when the rat is placed in the machine, whenever it gets angry, it will be moving here and there in the machine. It will press the lever, it will get the food. This action is called stimulus and response. So what we must do to give to our students to get this kind of learning is we have to prepare programmed learning materials. How to prepare this programmed learning materials? Our content should be given in short, simple way, so that after learning that content, there should be a question immediately, so that the student will be answering the content easily, because we are giving the small content. So in this way, what we have to do is we have to prepare the content in small units and give to the students, and each content should be followed by a question, so that the student will answer the question easily, immediately, and he will get the reward. This is the secret behind operant conditioning. So these are the theories that is available for learning. The main difference between these two important theories, that is classical and conditioning theory, is classical conditioning modifies only reflex reactioning, and operant conditioning, it shapes new behavior. So this is the difference between classical and operant conditioning. So there are many other theories also here. Another one important theory I like to share with you is about Kohler's insight learning. This is also one important theory put forward by Kohler. What Kohler says is, he done this experiment with chimpanzee. Kohler's most famous study on insight learning involved Sultan the chimpanzee. It was in a cage and was presented with a stick. So it is in a cage, it is presented with sticks, and a fruit will be kept close to the cage so that it could pick it up. After Sultan had learned to use the stick to reach the fruit, Kohler moved the fruit out of range of the short stick. What he did is, there were a lot of sticks inside the cage. Fruits were kept outside the cage. First, he tried with a small stick. It was not able to take the fruit. Afterwards, it took the another stick and it placed with the first one, and he tried, and it was not able to take the fruit again. And it tried with 3 or 4 sticks attached, and it was able to take the fruit that was outside the cage. So this was called insight learning. This was put forward by Kohler. What insight learning suggests is, we can learn not only by conditioning, but also by cognitive processes that cannot be directly observed. Insight learning is a form of learning because, like other forms, it involves a change in behavior. However, It differs from other forms because the process is not observable. So this was the theory that was put forward by Kohler. And so what the theory tells is that it involves cognitive processes that cannot be directly observed. So these are the theories that was put forward by famous educationist and psychologist. Now let us go for the next topic.
Excuse me, ma'am. You are not audible.
So next we are going to see about learning objectives.
Ma'am.
Let me share my screen 1 minute.
Yeah.
So learning objectives. Now, am I audible now? So now we are going to see about
Yes, ma'am.
learning objectives.
You can go ahead, ma'am.
So what is learning objective? What is learning objective? It is an outcome statement that captures specifically what knowledge, skills, and attitudes learners should be able to exhibit following instruction. A learning objective is an outcome statement that captures specifically what knowledge, skills, and attitude learners should be able to exhibit following instruction. Actually, we have a misapplication of objective that actually we will tell that my plan this morning is to take this topic like that. This is not the correct way of the objective that we use. What is learning objective way is the student is expected to be able to do, for example, after this session, the student should be able to understand or apply or something like that. So the objective, learning objective should be reframed in this way, not like this, not as teacher's point of view, but according to the learner's point of view. After this session, the learner should be able to attain knowledge, develop skill, develop attitude, etc. So this is learning objective. So you remember that these three aspects should be kept in mind while we are teaching the students. So there are three domains here. Every one of you might have known, but again, let me tell. There are three domains of learning: cognitive domain, affective domain, and psychomotor domain. So what is cognitive domain? It involves mental processes. It deals with knowledge. And what is affective domain? It deals with attitude, feelings, or emotional areas towards the subject. And what is psychomotor? It is manual or physical skills that a student should perform after the learning is absent. So our objective is not to only to impart knowledge to the students, not only you must develop the mental faculties. Other than that, we have to develop the attitude among the students and we have to develop skills among the students. This is our main learning, teaching objective and the students' learning objective. So this is Benjamin Bloom, who says that Education must be increasingly concerned about the fullest development of all children and youth. And it will be the responsibility of the school to seek learning conditions which will enable each individual to reach the highest level of learning possible. So here's a famous educationist, Benjamin Bloom. He has put forward this Bloom's taxonomy of educational objectives. That's what we are going to see now. So he put forward the cognitive domain. This cognitive domain is about, that is, it involves knowledge and the development of intellectual skills. It includes recall or recognition of specific facts, procedural patterns and concepts that serve in the development of intellectual abilities and skills. So what we have to do to develop this kind of cognitive domain into our students is you must encourage discussions about what is being taught. You must help the students to explore and understand how the ideas you teach are connected to each other. And you must ask the student to justify and explain their thinking. And using visualization, we have to improve the students' understandings and recall. This was put forward by Bloom in 1956, and this is called as cognitive domain. It involves only the knowledge and development of intellectual skills. So here you can see the categories of cognitive domain. It is in the hierarchy. First one is knowledge, second one is comprehension, third one application, fourth one analysis, fifth one synthesis, and sixth one is evaluation. So this cognitive domain is under 6 categories, and it is in the hierarchy. Only when you attain knowledge, you can go and comprehend. That is students. Only when the students can attain the knowledge, they can go and comprehend and understand the next step. And after understanding, only they can go for the next part as application. They can apply to the new situation, the gained knowledge. Afterwards, they will be able to analyze the things, and they will be able to synthesize the things. And finally, they can evaluate which is good, which is wrong, and what to do and what not to do, like that. So this cognitive domain are under the 6 categories: knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, and synthesis, evaluation. And knowledge is the lowest level of hierarchy, and the evaluation is the highest level of this hierarchy. So what is knowledge? So according to Bloom, knowledge is defined as remembering of previously learned material. This may involve the recall of wide range of material from specific facts to complete theories. So what is the description words for sentence for this? The students will remember previously learned material, and knowledge is the lowest level of learning, and the students will be listing the learned information. They'll be remembering terms, methods, facts, specific items of information. It is the lowest level of learning. According to the cognitive domain, knowledge is the lowest level. It is in the recall level only. Next is comprehension. It is the next step to knowledge. After the student gain knowledge, it is comprehension. It is defined as the ability to grasp the meaning of material. This may be shown by translating material from one form to another, by interpreting materials, and by estimating future trends, etc. What is the description of this is the student have the ability to grasp the meaning of the material. He will be able to grasp the meaning of the material. He can communicate an idea. He can explain ideas, can summarize ideas, and he can understand facts and principles. So this is the next level in the cognitive domain. After knowledge, student will be able to do this So next one is application. So application is to use the learned material in new and concrete situation. Whatever he learned and understood, he will be applying in the new situation. This may include application of such things as rules, methods, concepts, principles, laws, and theories. Learning outcome in this area requires a higher level of understanding than those under comprehension. So this is the third level, and it demands higher level of understanding. Okay, so the description of this is applying concepts and principles to new situation. So applying laws and theories to practical situation, solving of mathematical problems, constructing charts and graphs, demonstrating correct usage of a method or procedure, applying rules, methods, concepts, principles, laws, theories, and it requires higher level of understanding than comprehension. Okay, this is about application and the third level in the cognitive domain. The next one is analysis. Refers to the ability to break down the material into its components. So breaking the material into components so that its organizational structure may be understood. So what are the description for this? Breaking material down into component parts, understanding the organizational structure, analysis of relationship between parts, recognition of organizational principles involved, understanding both the content and structural form, and analyzing the elements. So he will be able to analyze everything, every parts, and he will be able to organize it. So this is the next level in the cognitive domain, fourth level, analysis. Next one is synthesis, and it is the next level. It refers to the ability to put parts together to form a new whole. So what are the description for this is putting parts together in a new whole, formulating new patterns or structures, abstract relationships, communicating an idea in a unique way, proposing a new set of operations, creating new or original things, take things and pattern in a new way. So they will be able to synthesize everything, putting everything together. For example, for giving treatment, a nurse can use many methods like yoga and something other treatments with that is not harmful, that can be used while doing treatment to the students. So synthesize, putting parts to a whole, taking all the ideas and putting in a new whole. So this is the next level of learning for the students. They must be able to synthesize all the parts in a new whole. So this is the next level of learning in the cognitive domain. And next one is evaluation. So it is concerned with the ability to judge the value of a material. So it is concerned with the ability to judge the value of material. It may be a statement, it may be a novel, poem, research report, etc. The judgment are to be based on definite criteria. So learning outcomes in this area are highest in the cognitive hierarchy because they contain elements of all the other categories, plus value judgments based on clearly defined criteria. So what is the description for this evaluation is the students or the learner must have the ability to judge the value of material. You can use definite criteria for judgments. You can use value judgments based on clearly defined criteria or use of cognitive and affective thinking together. So this is the next level in the cognitive and the highest level in the cognitive hierarchy. So let me stop this now. I request the participants to put this 6 categories in the chat box. Any one of you, please put the 6 categories in the chat box so that I could understand that my voice is clear to you. Can anyone put the 6 categories in the chat box, please?
Participants, please use the chat box.
Or 1 or 2 categories that you remember, just for some interactions. Very good. Knowledge by Shyamala. Shyamala Vijay Siva. Thank you. Very good. Comprehension. Others can also try the other categories. Application Pallavi. Very good. Shyamala again. Analysis. Very good. Synthesis. Okay, super. And last one is very good, Suresh. So thank you very much, so that I could understand my voice is reaching you. Thank you so much. And it is highest level of learning. Very good. Thank you so much. So let me go for the other domains. And let me share the screen. Veda, very good. Very nice. Thank you. Pavitra, thank you. Thank you, Pavitra. Sridharan Balakrishnan. So what will be the next domain we are going to see? Any idea about that? What is the next domain? Okay, let us go for the next domain. Let me share the screen. Malliga Durayrajan, thank you. Let me share my screen. One minute, please. It is shared. 1 minute. There's a problem. 1 minute, please. Let me share. So next, we are going to see about affective domain. Before going to affective domain, there is the modified form of cognitive domain. There is a modified form of cognitive domain. Let me tell you about that. There is, what is in the screen? Can anyone tell me? I couldn't check it. What is in the screen?
Yes, ma'am. Knowledge, skills, and attitude.
Yes, Shamla ma'am, correct. Yeah. Thank you. 1 minute, I'll share the screen. I don't know what is the problem. So next we are going to see about the modified form of this cognitive domain. So in this modified form, here our first one is remember, next one is understand, third one is apply, fourth one is analyze, fifth one is evaluate, and next one is create. So this is the modified form of cognitive domain. Here, our modified form first lowest level of learning is remember. In this, the students recognize and recall facts. And next, understand. When the students understand what the facts mean. Next one is apply, and the students apply the facts, rules, concepts, and ideas. And next one is analyze. We break down information into component parts. And here comes the evaluation, judging the values of information or ideas. And last one comes the create, combining parts to make a new whole. Actually, in the previous one, synthesis was the fifth one, and sixth one was evaluation in the older version of cognitive domain. The new one is fifth one is evaluation, and the sixth one is create. So in the synthesis part, it is similar to synthesis of the previous one. This is create. Sixth one is here create, combining parts to make a new whole. So this is the modified version of this cognitive domain. So here what they say in this modified version, what is remember, you can see the outcome here. See the outcome. By end of this lesson, the student will be able to recite Newton's 3 laws of motion. So he will be able to, whether if it is Newton's 3 laws of motion, the student what he will be able to do after the end of the lesson, he may be able to recite the 3 laws of motion. Can you hear now? Can you hear now? Please tell me.
Yes, ma'am.
So what's the verbs that we can use for this is list, recite, outline, define, name, match, quote, recall, identify, label, recognize. Okay. So the modified form of learning objectives in the cognitive domain, remember, is the lowest level, and by lowest level of learning, the student will be able to remember what had been taught in the classroom. And the next level is understand. By the end of the lesson, the student will be able to describe. See, here he will be able to recite. He will be able to describe Newton's 3 laws of motion in her or his own words. And here are the verbs that describe here. Action verbs: describe, explain, paraphrase, restate, etc. And the third one is apply. By the end of this session, the student will be able to calculate the kinetic energy of a projectile. Shyamla ma'am, please. Shyamla ma'am, put a message. So by the end of this session, the students will be able to calculate the kinetic. You can be able to do a small problem in the kinetic energy. So this is what we say that apply. Yes, you can wait. Can you hear me? Please tell me. Put it in the chat box. Can
Yes,
all of
yes,
you
we can hear
me
you.
or not?
Yes, yes, we can hear you, ma'am.
I can continue, or else just wait for a few minutes. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear
Yes or
you.
no? Please put it in the
Yes,
chat
yes.
box. Yes. Yes. Next. Others, please. Audible. Audible. Okay, let me, Shyamla Devi ma'am, let me again start with this. What is that? Modified form of cognitive domain. So this is the modified form of cognitive domain. Here, in the hierarchy, we have remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, and create. Actually, what is the difference? Main difference we can say is synthesis part is similar to create, and it has been kept after evaluation. That is the main idea of this modified form of cognitive domain. Okay, so we are seeing about the behavioral change of this modified form while we are handling class. So this is the modified form, and this will be the change in behavior among the students. In the remember level, he will be able to recite the Newton's three law of motion that was started in the beginning of the class. And after that, you will be able to describe Newton's three law of motion. And next stage, you will be able to calculate a small problem, calculate the kinetic energy of a projectile. And at the next level, the student will be able to differentiate between potential and kinetic energy. Here, the action verbs are classify, break down, categorize, analyze, diagram, illustrate, criticize, etc. And the next level here is evaluate. In the previous one, it will be the last level, but in this, it is coming one before the last one. So what is that? In this, by the end of this session, the student will be able to determine whether using conservation of energy or conservation of momentum would be more appropriate for solving a dynamic problem. So he will be able to determine. Okay, this he can be able to do after understanding the lesson. He can evaluate those things after listening to the lesson at the end of the session, at the end of the lesson. So, and the next level is create. The next level is create. By the end of this lesson, the student will be able to design an original homework problem dealing with the principle of conservation of energy. So by the end of this lesson, what the student will be able to do, he will be able to design an original homework problem. He will do something, some practical work or something dealing with this lesson, that is principle of conservation of energy. So this is the modified form of cognitive domain. Remember, comprehend, analyze, apply, application, and analyze, evaluate, and then create. So this is the one, the figure that explains. Next, let us go for the affective domain. So we are actually speaking about three domains as mentioned earlier. The three learning objectives here we are going to see is in this session is about cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. Until now, we were discussing about knowledge, that is, about cognitive domain. Now we are going to the next level, that is affective domain. So in the affective domain, there are still 5 or 6 categories. We are going to see each one. The first one is receiving. Next one is responding. Third one is valuing. Fourth one is organization. And fifth one is characterization. So this we are going to see in the affective domain. So please kindly remember, listen to me and put it in the chat box, because there is no figure that represents all the 6 in all the 6. Receiving, first one is receiving in the affective domain. Responding is next one. Valuing is third one. Organization is fourth one, and fifth one is characterization. Please try to put in the chat box all these 5 categories of affective domain. Very good. Receiving, responding. Third one. So there are, this is affective domain. Very good. We are speaking about affective domain. Third one is valuing. Very good. Fourth one. Very good. Organization. And fifth one. So these are the 5 categories that comes under characterization. Very nice, Shyamla Devi. Very good, Shyamla. Sorry. So now we are going to see what is receiving, responding, and other categories of affective domain. Thank you. So first one is receiving in the affective domain. First one is receiving. What it refers? It refers to the student's willingness to attend to particular phenomena or stimuli. phenomena of stimuli unless actually in the previous slide I told about three laws of learning, and I told that I can deal with it afterwards. It is the first one is actually what are the three laws of learning is law of readiness. First one is law of readiness, and second one law of exercise, and third one is law of effect. So that is what we refer here also. Unless your students are ready to receive, they won't understand what you are teaching. They should get ready for receiving. Unless that we should not start teaching at all. So that is the three law of learning. And the first one is law of readiness. So whenever the student is willing to attend, then only learning will be happening. So this is the first one in the affective. Oh, the three laws of learning are law of readiness, law of exercise, and law of effect. If time permits, I'll go to that part again. Actually, my topic is learning objectives. Just I gave you an introduction about learning things, learning theories. Yes, Shyamala, law of readiness, law of exercise, and law of effect. And every teacher should know about these three laws of learning. Actually, in psychology, this unit, learning, is a very interesting one. I told you 2 or 3 stories, is it not? So that theories with the help of some real stories, that psychologists were done experiments with it. So it will be very interesting, and every teachers can learn those learning in psychology, so that it will be useful for their profession. Learning theories you can learn. If you find time, please all of you read it. So unless the student is making his mind to receive, he won't receive. So what is receiving here? Receiving refers a student's willingness to attend to a particular phenomena of stimuli. So what is the learning outcome in this range? Listening to discussion of controversial issues with an open mind. Example is listening to discussions of controversial issues with an open mind, respecting the rights of others, listen for and remember the name of newly. So wait a minute. So it is hidden. What is here? I don't remember. So this is what is meant by receiving, and it is the lowest level of learning outcome in the affective domain. It is the lowest level of learning outcomes in the affective domain. See here, what are the verbs here? The student will ask, choose, describe, follow, give, gives, holds, identifies, locates, names, points to, selects, sits, erect, replies, uses, etc. So these are the illustrative verbs that can be used for the affective domain in the receiving category. So next one is responding one. Next learning outcome in the affective domain is responding. So what will the students do in this stage? They will respond. They will actively participate. At this level, he or she not only attends to a particular phenomenon, but also reacts to it in some way. So what are the work they will do? They will participate in team problem solving activities. They will complete homework assignments. They will question new ideas, concepts, models, etc. So this is the higher level of this category. It includes those instructional objectives that are commonly classified under interest. So this is about responding. The students will actively participate in all the discussions. They will do the assignments, problem solving activities, etc. So willingly participate, willingly they will participate in the learning. So these are the illustrative verbs for responding. These are the some verbs here: confirms, discusses, greets, helps, labels, performs, etc. So these are the illustrative verbs for responding. So active participation in the part of the learner is the responding category. Next one is valuing. The third one in this affective domain is valuing. It is concerned with the worth or value of a student attaches to a particular object, phenomenon, or behavior. Okay, this is concerned with the worth or value of a student attaches to a particular object, phenomenon, or behavior. You can see what are the examples here. Accepting the idea that integrated curricula in a good way to learn, participating in a campus that drive, demonstrate beliefs in the democratic process, shows the ability to solve problems, informs management on matters that one feels strongly about. These are the things that the student can perform when you value something. See here, there are the illustrative verbs: completes, describes, differentiates, explains, etc. So valuing is the next one in the affective domain. The instructional objectives that are commonly classified under attitudes and appreciation would fall into this category. So here they will develop attitude and appreciations in this category. So this is the third one, valuing in affective domain, and the fourth one is organizing. Organization is concerned with bringing together different values, resolving conflicts between them, and beginning the building of an internally consistent value system. So you can see, if you know the meaning of organizing, what the students will be able to organize, you will be able to bring together different values. You will be able to bring together different values. You can resolve conflicts between them, and you can begin building of internally consistent value system. So here, see some of the examples here. Recognizing own abilities, limitations, and values, and developing realistic aspirations. Accepts responsibility for one's behavior. Explains the role of systematic planning in solving problems. Accepts professional ethical standards. Prioritizes time effectively to meet the needs of the organization, family, and self. So this is what organization in the affective domain. The fourth one, the instructional objectives relating to the development of philosophy of life would fall into this category. So see, it is beautifully given that relating to the development of a philosophy of life would fall into this category. So in this stage, the student will be able to do all those things in the fourth stage, organization. And the last one in this affective domain is characterization. So what is characterization? Characterization is by a value or value set. The individual has a value system that has controlled his or her behavior for sufficiently long time for him or her to develop a characteristic lifestyle. This is characterization. So what is the example for this is a person's lifestyle reaction influences reaction to many different kinds of situations. Shows self-reliances when working independently. Uses an objective approach in problem solving. Displays a professional commitment to ethical practice on a daily basis. Revises judgments and change behavior in light of new evidence. So these are the examples for this category. The illustrative verbs are given as acts, discriminates, displays, influences, listen, modifies, etc. And so what the instructional objectives that is concerned is the student's general pattern of adjustment that may be personal, social, and emotional would be appropriate here. So this is the last stage of affective domain is characterization. Here he completely changes himself and the instructional objectives that are concerned with the students' general patterns of adjustment like personal, social, emotional would be appropriate in this category. So we have seen about 5 categories of affective domain. 5 categories of affective domain. First one, receiving, responding, valuing, organization, and characterization. And also it is again in the same in the hierarchy. The lowest level is receiving and the highest level is characterization. So our learning objectives should concentrate on all those, all these categories, right from the cognitive domain, all the 6 categories and the affective domain and the 5 categories that we have seen now. We should concentrate on all those categories while teaching so that the learner will reach these objectives. And the next domain we are going to see is cognitive domain, psychomotor domain. So what is psychomotor domain? It is again, it is about manipulation of skills, manual work, etc. We can say psychomotor domain as manual work or manual applications like that. First one was knowledge. It was area of knowledge. Second was area of feeling. And third one is area of skillful works that demands physical work from the learner. That is psychomotor domain. And see here, according to Dave, he have given these 5 categories. There are some other authors with different categories also. Now today in this psychomotor domain, we are seeing about Dave. RH 1970. In 1970, he has declared this 5 categories: imitation, manipulation, precision, articulation, and naturalization. So these are the again 5 categories in the psychomotor domain put forward by Dave RH 1970: imitation, manipulation, precision, articulation, and naturalization. Can you please put it in the chat box about these categories? Knowledge means, I couldn't understand, Shyamala, please. Knowledge. The cognitive domain, I may go to cognitive domain and repeat. Shyamala, please. Others. Of which domain? Affective or cognitive? Cognitive or affective? Psychomotor. Okay. I'll show you again the screen. Before that, can anyone put in the chat box whose psychomotor domain category we are going to see now? I told 2 or 3 times just for interaction. It is Bloom for cognitive domain, and I need for psychomotor domain. I told 2 or 3 times. This category was put forward by one author, I told you, in 1970. Okay, let me repeat again. Let me go for screen sharing. I'll say you again. So this was put forward by Dave, 1970, D-A-V-E. You can see here, Dave. So what are the 6 categories? Sorry, 5 categories here. Imitation, manipulation, precision, articulation, naturalization, imitation, manipulation, precision, articulation, and naturalization. So this we are going to see. Some other authors have given different categories, but today we are going to see about only Dev. Okay. Is that clear now? Is that clear now? Shamla, let me continue with the description of psychomotor domain. Okay. Yes, it is mentioned as Bloom, but it was put forward by Dev. Dev. Okay, see it is in the picture. Yes, yes. Actually, people tell that if it is Bloom's taxonomy, they tell us 3 domains. But actually, Bloom was the person who put forward cognitive domain. Here it was found by Dev. Okay, here it was found by Dev. Okay, so let me finish it now. Only 3 or 4 slides are there. Let us go for the discussion afterwards. It was put forward by Dev. The first category is imitation. The first one is imitation according to psychomotor domain. So what is imitation in the psychomotor domain? Observing and observing and patterning behavior after someone else. Performance baby of low quality. So this is the lowest one. Actually, this is the lowest one of the psychomotor domain. First one is imitation. What is the example for this is copying a work of art, performing a skill while observing a demonstrator. What are the key words here is copy, follow, mimic, repeat, replicate, reproduce, trace. So these are the works here given. So what is imitation? Observing and patterning behavior after someone else. Okay. So this is the keyword. Shyamla, we can have the discussion after this slide.
No, not the discussion, ma'am. Not the discussion. I want to have the names, ma'am. That is cognitive.
The next one in this, the domain is manipulation. What is manipulation? So being able to perform certain actions by memory or following instructions. So what is manipulation? And it is the second one in the psychomotor domain, next level in the psychomotor domain, that is about manipulation. What is manipulation? It is being able to perform certain actions by memory or following instructions. For example, being able to perform a skill on one's own after taking lessons or reading about it. Following instructions to build a model. So what are the keywords here? Act, build, execute, perform. After knowing certain things, what students can do, he can manipulate and perform it by action. Next one is precision. The third category of psychomotor domain is precision. So what is precision? It is refining, becoming more exact, performing a skill within a high degree of precision. Performing a skill within a high degree of precision. This is what precision, what the students will be able to do. He'll be working and reworking something, so it will be just right. Perform a skill or task without assistance. Demonstrate a task to a beginner. So this is what we say it as precision. What are the keywords? Calibrate, demonstrate, master, and perfectionism. So this is the third one in the psychomotor domain. And fourth one is articulation in the psychomotor domain. What is articulation? Coordinating and adapting a series of action to achieve harmony, and internal consistency. Example is combining a series of skills to produce a video that involves music, drama, color, sound, etc. Combining a series of skills or activities to meet a novel requirement. So we're combining everything to produce a new one, that is articulation, coordinating and adapting a series of action to achieve harmony and internal consistency. So the keywords here are adapt, construct, combine, create, customize, modify, and formulate. So these are the keywords here. And the last one in the psychomotor domain is about naturalization. So the last one in this psychomotor domain is naturalization, mastering a high level of performance until it becomes second nature or natural, without needing to think much about it. So mastering, we can say it, what is naturalization? Mastering a high level performance. Examples are Michael Jordan playing basketball or Nancy Lopez hitting a gold ball. So this can be the example for naturalization. And the keywords here are create, design, develop, invent, manage, naturally. So these are the keywords. So what is naturalization? Mastering a high level performance until it becomes second nature or natural without needing to think much about it. So these are the categories of psychomotor domain. So here, imitation. The categories are imitation, manipulation, precision, articulation, and naturalization. Actually, what Bloom's taxonomy is, if anyone of you asks what is Bloom's taxonomy, but they will always tell about this cognitive, affective, and psychomotor domain only. But this psychomotor domain was derived by Dave R.H. 1970. That's what I was telling you. Bloom was responsible for the cognitive domain. Any other questions? Actually, I have another one PPT, but it is time up for me. 3:25 it has happened. Another one PPT is available.
Ma'am? Ma'am?
Imitation like observation modeling, learning only. Observation, the students will do after observing the teacher's performance.
Ma'am? Ma'am?
No, I can't hear you.
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Now you can hear. Now I can hear me.
Ma'am, thank you so much for your PPTs are really very good and resourceful. So you told me that Bloom has put forward cognitive.
Yes.
Then who has put forward affective?
Rathwal.
Okay. Ma'am, I find that few of the hierarchies can be given in either way, ma'am.
In which way, ma'am?
See, for example, knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. So after evaluating, you are finding that something is good, now you will proceed with that. So after evaluation, if you find that something is not good or useful, so again you are getting the knowledge and again further you are going through that. So I want to say that domains, see that areas, knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, evaluation can be both vice versa, I feel, ma'am.
Yeah, maybe. Right.
See, for example, I'll tell you, I'm going to take one class. So students are getting some knowledge, they are going home and they are trying to understand, and with their understanding, they are trying to apply something on that. After application, that is based upon the results, they are going to analyze whether it will be useful or not. So based upon their analysis, they may synthesize, they will not copy. Definitely students
If they
like us, we will not
understand,
copy.
learning will
So
be
we will
very
not
nice.
copy, we will synthesize and again we will evaluate.
Yes.
So suppose if it is not working fine, if it is good, we will proceed.
Yes.
Suppose if it is not working, again, do we go from the first to last or from evaluate from the reverse order?
So after evaluation, they'll be able
Yeah.
to know everything actually.
Okay.
So there are no hard and fast rules like that. They can learn according to their learning ability. They can analyze synthesis and they can proceed. Whether I can't tell that whether they must go from again knowledge or something like that. After the evaluation, it is the highest level actually. After evaluation, and you can see that the other form of this cognitive domain was next one is to synthesis. You see,
Ma'am,
you
I
saw.
want to differ with you because information can be the lowest level of learning, but knowledge, how it can be the lowest level of learning?
First, only after knowing the knowledge, you can go to the next step actually. Okay. So knowledge is the basic one that was put forward by all the educationists, psychologists, etc. So Cagney's hierarchy of learning also was from signal learning.
Yes, ma'am.
Like
Yes.
that. So we must think over it. But only after gaining knowledge, according to the theories, only after the gaining knowledge, they can understand the next process. After understanding only, they will apply. After applying, they can analyze and synthesize, and then they will evaluate. This is the actual procedure that was put forward by all the educationists.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. Please share all your PPTs with us, ma'am.
Actually, today my class was only about learning objectives, so only I went fast with that learning theories and etc. Learning theories. But it is also an interesting one. You can, as I told, every teacher can go and search for learning theories in psychology and can learn. Everything will be very interesting one for all the teachers. Being education teacher, we all know this kind of theories that is available for the learning purpose, teaching, etc.
Yeah,
so I'm recommending you.
Please share your PPTs. They are very good, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Thank
for
you.
all of us, please.
Sure.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Very nice, ma'am. Very, very nice, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Actually, it is a dry subject. You know, I was fearing how I'm making you all understand. I was very much worrying about it. It is a dry one because everything is about theoretical part only. Actually, I deal with more digital technology. This time, I am handling about this theoretical part, learning objectives. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
If there are no questions, shall we conclude, ma'am? Is there any question in the chat box? Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Participants, if you have any question, you can ask.
I will share my PPT to the organizers so that they will share with you.
You have shared three domains today: cognitive and psychomotor and affective. So what are all the other domains, ma'am, other than this? How many?
Only three domains. Only three domains according to Bloom's taxonomy. Actually, if anyone asks about what is Bloom's taxonomy, but we must tell that there are three domains, that is cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. Three domains.
So there are again different theories, and is there any again different theories for learning objective other than Bloom's taxonomy?
This is the main idea of learning objectives. Actually, this is the main thing. If you are speaking about learning objective or educational objective, these are the three domains only. These are the three. But what I told about your learning is some history about learning, some theories about learning that was put forward by psychologists and educationists. That I would like to share with the participants directly. We need not.
Yeah, you can share, ma'am. You can share.
That's what I share. Okay, I'll share you in the
group. And Participants, any questions from your side?
Meenakshi ma'am, can you please add my email ID so that I'll be getting whatever the forwarded mails, please? Because I have not received anything. So,
Okay, you are not in the group?
I'm there in a group, but I have not received anything so far. So,
Okay.
yeah, greatly, it'll be helpful if you can just add my email ID, please.
Sure. Anybody is having any question related to learning objective, you can raise your. Okay. So no question, ma'am. So we will end the session with this. Learning gives creativity. Creativity leads to thinking. And this is thinking provides knowledge, and knowledge makes you great. That is given by APJ Abdul Kalam, sir. And the objective of education is learning, not teaching. The learning objectives are the interim academic goals that teachers establish for students who are working towards meeting more comprehensive learning objectives. And the learning objective is the instructor's purpose for creating and teaching any course. So ma'am has given a lot of inputs on the 3 different domains, as we have just now seen: the psychomotor domain, the affective domain, and our cognitive domain also. And in that also there are different parts. Ma'am has explained very well. So I hope all the participants have received what is the learning objective. With this, I thanks to ma'am for giving us so much of learning objective. Thank you, ma'am, once again.
I thank again all the organizing team members and particularly Elangovan sir for giving me the opportunity again. Thank you.
Thank
you. I'll leave the session, ma'am. Okay.
Sure, ma'am. Shall we begin the session, sir?
Yes.
Okay. So I now request our guest of honor for today's function, Dr. N. Chandrasekharan, founder of Viniyoga Healing Foundation of India, to deliver a speech. Before moving forward, I have a short introduction about the sir. Sir is an MBBS in active practitioner of allopathic medicine for the last 28 years. His deep inquest into Vedanta brought him to the study of yoga. He did his diploma in yoga in KYM during the year 1990 and 1992. And there he was introduced to therapeutic potential of yoga. He has been a yoga teacher and therapist for over 18 years. He has done private consultation and designed individual therapy courses for more than 10,000 people with the whole range of health problems. His basic learning and his practical experience in allopathic medical system, together with his exposure and training in the healing process of yoga, helped him to blend both into one therapy, enabling him to present a harmonious, wholesome yoga of the modern Western medical system with the time-based, time-tested Eastern heritage. He has mastered the art of combining his knowledge of medical science and the therapeutic potential of yoga to devise several modifications of the tool of yoga to telling effect. So much so that he has the rare privilege of being acknowledged as an authority in yoga therapy by many senior yoga therapists all over the world. With this, I welcome sir.
Thank you. I am Dr. N. Chandrasekharan. As I was introduced, I was a medical doctor plus yoga teacher, yoga consultant, and yoga therapist also. I'm really privileged to be amongst you in this August meeting. I'm really very happy to see a lot of interest in the field of yoga, and especially I appreciate and congratulate all the people who organized the seminar called Integrating Yoga in Higher Education. It's a beautifully thought over topic. How to integrate yoga in every field. Yes, yoga can synchronize with every part of work we do. My teacher used to say, an engineer becomes a great engineer if he can integrate yoga into it. A doctor could be a better doctor if he integrates yoga in the practice. In the same way, you can integrate yoga into every system of knowledge. It is going to be supplementary and it is going to augment our working skill and our capability. I tell all physiotherapists, please study yoga and integrate yoga in physiotherapy, whatever field they say. Recently, I saw one person in movie, in movie field. He was making some movie, some direction. He said, after studying with you, I introduced yoga into that one. Yoga means not what we think like yoga, like doing Shalabhasana, Bhujangasana, Shrasasana, like this. No. Yoga in action. So that will definitely improve the quality of their activity. That is why yoga is called as Karmashu Kausalam Yogam. Whatever be the activity we do, that activity attains the quality of dexterity because of yoga. And Krishna says this is the definition of yoga. Yoga is not measured by the asana or pranayama what we do. Yes, they are also very important, but it should improve the quality of our action, our day-to-day action, our day-to-day life. So this is a very important title, integrating yoga in higher education. In the same way, we can integrate yoga in all our higher educations. That means yoga should be the basic education, and then higher education will definitely follow. Then I followed few days and few seminars along with you, and many experienced and practicing people have talked about yoga and research, modern teaching methodologies, yoga for human resource management, yoga and medical sciences, meditation and concentration, physical health and yoga, mental health and yoga, therapeutic value of yoga, yoga for stress management, yoga and arts, life skills and yoga. There are so many varied topics. I'm really very happy that yoga has penetrated into all these fields also, because in olden days, when it was taught, it was confined among some of the yogis, and some religious people also took up yoga and they took it as a religious practice. But now it extends its horizon. See, all psychologists are talking about psychology, cognitive and receptive, all those things. They integrate yoga along with that. So I'm really very happy that yoga is now spreading, penetrating into all other fields also. Beautiful. And your webinar for these days will definitely be will add a good momentum into this. Second, I'm given a time for 1.5 hours to talk. I want to talk only about two things. One is yoga. Of course, all of you know what is yoga, but I also want to say something. Please, even though it is basics, please listen to this. And then I'm going to talk about yoga therapy, because these are the two fields I am working all through my life for the last 30 years now. 30 years now. Now, then we will know how these two will help in perfecting all our action. You may be a psychiatrist, or you may be a psychologist, or you may be a clinical person, doctor or engineer, any field. Yes, this understanding is going to enrich your education, and that will make all your actions perfect, because perfection is what is called yoga. For that, I want to give a small example for you to understand and clarify. Please reflect on this. To do our action, we have lot of instruments. Yes, we have, and modern technology is inventing new technologies. Yes, they are all very important. But you come to your source. The source is two. You can eliminate all, but you cannot eliminate these two. That is your individuality. You as the individual. That is a very basic one. Second, this individual is incessantly acting. The action may be anything. I'm a medical doctor, so I do medical profession. I'm a psychologist, I do my psychological consultation. Or I'm a farmer, I do my work. So these are the two things which we cannot negate. One is, as an individual, yes, I am here and I am living. Second, as I am living, I do my life activities. It could be anything. There are thousands, millions of possibilities. Don't bother about all those things. These are the two basic. And this individual is doing all the activities, life activities, by using only one instrument. Only one instrument. That instrument is called mind. M-I-N-D, mind. I talk using this voice instrument, but the deepest instrument is my mind. I know how to talk. I know what to talk. So I am now giving. So it is ultimately the mind. Great masterpieces of art are done by the mind. Externally, he uses the fingers to draw the diagram, draw the artwork. But ultimately, the work is done by the mind. In fact, you should always remember this statement from the Vedas. Manam eva manushyanam. A human being is known as a human being only because of the mind. Only because of the mind. So, the person is living, yes, and is doing all activities, yes. All activities are done only by one instrument called mind. Good. And the third statement, please reflect on this again. Everyone wants to lead a perfect life in life, isn't it? Everyone wants to lead a beautiful life. Absolutely no stress, nothing. Such a flowery life everyone wants to live. Now you come to the second statement. Second statement is, all through the life, every individual is performing incessant activities. No person can remain without any action, even for a fraction of a second. Nothing in this whole Prabanja or the cosmos is able to remain without action, even for a fraction of a second. Everything, all the systems in our body are functioning all the time. Every cell in our constitution is performing all activities every moment. Every atom in this whole cosmos is working all the time. So incessant activity is the way of living. No one can come out of this incessant activities. Now, I tell you all three. One, we are all living. I, the individual, is there and is living. Second, this living individual is performing incessant activities all through his life. Third statement is, everyone wants to lead a perfect, flowery life, beautiful life. Yes. Now, if you combine 3 and 2 statements, then our life is nothing but what we do. what we do every moment in our life, if we can combine everything, that is what is called life. And this life is coming from that individual who is living. Yes. So that means we need to change the quality of our action. Then only we can have such a beautiful life. Then only we will be able to lead such a beautiful life. That's it. So this is the conclusion of these three statements. If you can reflect and if you go deep, you will know we need to improve the quality of action. Yes. And in order to improve the quality of action, I told you that we have got only one instrument, and that is called mind. Manam eva manushyana. So we need to definitely do something with the mind. Then when the mind becomes perfect, every action that comes from the mind becomes perfect. Dexterity happens. And that is what is called yoga, according to Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Karmashu Kaushalam Yogam. This is the definition for yoga according to Krishna. So, our topic is to integrate yoga in our higher education. Yes. If we can do this with the spirit of yoga, that is, after perfecting the mind, after cleansing the mind, then our quality of action will become bigger and bigger to the extent that we can go to yoga or perfection in every action. Yes, that is the purpose of yoga. Good. So yoga is to perfect all our action, and all our actions spring from our mind. So we need to do something with our mind, and that is called yoga. Yes. Now I move on. We do actions. Of course, actions are springing from the mind. Mind is commanding every action, every moment. Yes. But the action is carried out by 4 components in our constitution. That means physical body, physiological system, mind, and then the deeper system called Vijnanamayam. Because it does not have any English word, I say the word in Sanskrit, Vijnanamayam. That means we have Annamayam, physical body, Pranamayam, our physiological system, Manomayam, our psychological system, and the deeper one called Vijnanamayam. So it is going to act through these 4 systems. We need to integrate all in 4 into 1. Of course, we have Anandamayam, the 5th Mayam, Annamayam, Pranamayam, Manomayam, Vijnanamayam, and Anandamayam. I did not include Anandamayam now because only when we do all our actions integrating these 4, and as a result, the 5th manifest. The 5th Anandamaya is the manifestation. It is not a separate unit of our constitution. Say, for example, you go to your house after 2 days of some other work. You went out. You come back. The moment you see your child running towards you, what you get? That is what is called Ananda. When you are linked with physically, physiologically, psychologically, and at a deeper level, then the Ananda comes manifest outside. It is not like happiness which comes from the Manomayam, but when we go deeper than Manomayam into Vijnanamayam and you do some action, the action of Vijnanamayam is that perfect connection. You have got such a connectivity with your child. So the moment you see the Vijnanamayam act opens and you get that Anandamaya. So, but we use only these four, first four: physical body, physiological system, psychological system, and Vijnanamaya, deeper one. And we have to integrate these four in all our actions. Every moment in our life, we need to integrate all four as one and do the action. Now what happens is, physical body may do some action, whereas the physiological system is not into that action. It is doing something more. Mind is not connected. It's not linked. Mind may be thinking something. And the deeper system is not at all in action. It is deep, submerged. So with that quality, we do our actions. Of course, we are able to do. This is one thing you should know. That is, say, for example, I have lung capacity. You know how much of lung capacity I use now? Now I am using only 1/10 of the capability of my lung. I have two beautiful kidneys, but how much do I use for my normal living and for my normal activities? I can do all by 50% of it. I can survive with only one kidney. That means we have got enormous reserve capacity. That is why, okay, I give one more example. Our brain system. Do you know how much of brain capability we are utilizing for our normal living and for our normal life activities? Very fraction of it, maybe 2% or 3% or 5%. You know how much of mental capacity we are using? A small fraction, maybe 0.00002% of our mental capacity we use. But with that, we are able to gain all knowledge from the world, and we can integrate in all our actions, and we can get a very good name, fame, everything. It is possible, but never be satisfied with this. Never be satisfied with a partial commitment or a partial integration into our action. No, yoga wants 100% union. That's why the word meaning of yoga is union. You need to be united as one instrument in doing all your actions, all our actions. It happens mainly in the afternoon sessions. I've been in the teaching profession for more than 30 years. I teach, especially in the afternoon session. I know my students are sitting in front of me. Some students, they are physically present, but psychologically, they don't hear me at all. I know by looking at the person. Some person would mentally gone away. That means they are not integrated. Physiologically, they hear so many other things also apart from my voice. That means physiologically, they are not integrated. But still, we are able to do some action. We are able to perform our activities and then still get some name, fame, so many things. Anyway, let us not bother. But we should aim at 100% union, and that is what is called yoga, union in every of our action. Because this is the spirit of our Vedas and others. You know, in one of the Vedic Upanishad, a boy goes to his master and he asks the master, what is that by knowing which I know everything? What is that by achieving which I achieve everything? You please tell me that. I do not want something like 40%, 50%. Sorry for the interruption. Yeah. I don't want anything that is only 40%, 50%, 60%. No. Give me that, getting which I got everything, 100%. A boy asked his master in one of the Upanishads. This is the spirit of our humanity. Everyone should have that spirit to pursue in their path. For even 99.99% is too little. According to Vedic system, 99.99 is too little. We should get 100. That is what is called yoga. I used to give this example to understand this. What is the use of jumping a well by 99.99%? Please reflect. What is the use of jumping a well from one side to the other by 99.999%? Nothing. It doesn't mean anything. So let us aspire for yoga, and that is what is called yoga. And I'm really very happy in this webinar. People were talking about Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Tantra Yoga, so many yogas, Ashtanga Yoga, everything. I'm very happy that it is spreading more and more, because earlier, I know, because I'm in this field for more than 30 years, I know in the beginning, yoga were confined only to asana practice, maybe some people pranayama practice, or some people used to sit and do something called meditation or something. No. Now it has gone penetrated into every field, and your webinar is one of the hallmark on this one. You want to introduce yoga into every science. Beautiful. And this is the best foundation on which any building superstructure can be made. But yoga, don't forget the spirit of yoga. Spirit of yoga, the very name says that it is integrating a person as 100%. Then only the action should be 100%. Then will be the quality of that person. That individual is perfect, and he also tries to do something good to all the people. So somehow integrate yoga in whatever field of activity you do, but integrate with the full spirit of yoga. That is, it should be 100%. 100%. I wanted to introduce this yoga into my field. My field was medical field. I was a qualified allopathic medical doctor. I was practicing medicine for more than 20 years at the time when I started my yoga therapy program. Then I introduced this concept. Luckily, I was trained in a very notable institute called Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandram, where I was shown the possibility of integrating yoga into healing system. How to introduce yoga to heal people. Whatever be the problem, you introduce yoga, you are able to. So I was into this system for more than 30 years now, and I am also teaching this to all my students. Yes. So I want to say something about yoga therapy. We discussed something about yoga. Now we are shifting our attention to yoga therapy. First important thing what I want to say is, earlier when I came to yoga field, yoga was very popular even amongst all the countries. Everyone talks about, even though many may not do practice regularly, they at least know what is yoga. And they know that it is only asana practice, asana practice, asana practice. Now, more than the yoga practice, asana practice, all over the world, interest in the therapeutic application of yoga is becoming more and more and more. Wherever I go, people come with their problem, with their health problem. Many medical doctors come to yoga therapy for their health problems. It's a very common occurrence now. So now I can say safely that yoga is popular, yes, but yoga therapy is more popular now. Because we are able to give perfect solution. I told you that yoga means perfection in action. They come with some problem, then it is our job to do the perfect healing. Perfect feeling means not just symptomatic. We need to find the cause and remove the cause. Even removal of cause is not sufficient, because the cause may come at any time. So we should definitely make them to move forward. After even removal of the cause, we need to make the person to move forward, to strengthen, so that nothing will hit him as long as that individual is living and performing his activities in his life. So yoga therapy we do in 3 stages. Sorry, I may use some Sanskrit word, because even though yoga originated in Tamil Nadu, at that time, there was no such division between Tamil and Sanskrit. Both grew together like this. So, say for example, I'm a Tamilian, now I'm talking in English. I'm not against any Tamil or English, nothing. It can grow together. That's all. It is a very natural growth. So, many people gave their literature in Sanskrit, and many people gave literature in Tamil. That is why both these languages are enriched with millions of scriptures. Good. So, yoga therapy works in 3 stages. Please reflect on this. First one is called samanam. That means they come with some problem. They are the symptoms. We do some yoga practices. We suggest them to do some practice. We teach them some techniques. And by the practice of those techniques, that symptoms will be removed. The person will not have any symptoms. Symptoms means come with the low back pain, severe pain in the low back region, or pain in the cervical region, or tightened shoulder, something like this symptom, or vomiting sensation, giddiness, not able to walk, anything, what will be the symptom for which they come to us. We give the first stage of yoga therapy called samanam, to remove the symptoms, remove the problems, and that is called symptomatic relief. This is the first step. But that is not sufficient, because for every symptom to come, the basic yoga principle is there must be a cause. Without a seed, a tree cannot be. So without a cause, the problem will not be there. So removal of the symptom is not sufficient. It is very important, but not sufficient. So we need to find the cause and remove the cause, so that the person will not get this problem again. Somebody comes with low back pain, we do our analysis, we study the person, and then we give some techniques for him to practice. And as he is practicing, we know little more. We are able to go little more. So we are able to find the cause for the problem. Please, in front of all of you, I need to say this very humbly, that in yoga therapy, we are able to find the cause for all the problems. Whereas all other medical systems, so-called medical systems, they are not able to find the cause. I'm a medical doctor. I can say very emphatically that if you open our medical book, I'm not against medical system, no. But I say emphatically, if you open many medical book, hypertension, they give the name for the disease, and then the first sentence is the cause is not known. That's why they call it idiopathic hypertension. Then they give very big elaboration of the disease, for which they are not sure about the cause. But I can say in yoga, we are able to find the cause. Not only finding the cause, we are able to remove the cause. That is called the second stage, called shodhanam. Shodhanam means cleansing the person, so that the cause is not there in the person, so that this seed will not come up again and again and again. Cutting the branches is not the solution. That's also important. When it is needed, we need to do symptomatic treatment. Then we need to go deep to find the cause and remove the cause so that it will not happen again. It may look very, bombarded for you, something, but I've been in this field for 30 years. I am seeing these type of miracles again and again and again. What allopathic medical system cannot even think, yoga people can easily remove. Say, for example, recently I had one student called systemic lupus erythematosus. In medical field, there are no cause is not identified, so they are not able to remove. That means they have to take medication for life. Even after taking medication for life, only the life will go, not the disease. The seed will be there. Say hypertension, diabetes, all these conditions, you have to take lifelong medication, whereas our system is try to find the cause and remove the cause. How it is possible? I will come to that little later. So second stage is called Shodhanam. Find the cause and remove the cause so that the person will not come. And there are yogic methodologies for studying the person, assessing the person, pinpointing the cause and methods to remove the cause. All those things are elaborately there in our system called yoga therapy. And the third one is called, that is not sufficient. Yes, you have removed the cause. Yes. But what is the assurance that this seed will not come again? Because the fundamental principle in yoga is everything is real, but everything is changing. Now you have changed. The cause is removed, but it is going to change. So the seed may come. So you should not give any lapse, because 100% union is 100%. You will not get into this problem again. Not only this problem, any other problem. So that stage is called Swadantira. That means we give some yoga techniques based on the evolution of the person. We give some techniques and then we make the person Swadantira. Swadantira means totally dependent, non-dependent. Swadantram. He should not depend even on yoga. Yoga is only a tool. He helped him to go to Swadantara. He should not depend even on the teacher, on the yoga, nothing. He is completely free. Nothing can affect him. He is perfect. That is what is called a Swadantram. So there are three stages. Samanam, symptomatic relief. Shodhanam, causative cure. Third one is Swadantram, total independence. So these are the three important stages we work in yoga therapy. And in order to do this complete removal of the cause and making the person completely free from anything and everything, we have such a solid foundation in yoga. The foundation is yoga has its own anatomy, yogic anatomy, yogic physiology, yogic psychology, yogic deeper science, studying about the Vijnanamayam. And then yogic methodology of examination. We all have all those things. Luckily, it runs in the family tradition, and I am the one who received that blessing a bit. By doing this observation, which is called a pariksha. You know, pariksha, the word meaning is important. Because the perfection comes at every moment in our life. Pariksha means, pari means all around. That means 100%. Not even 1% left. It is not 99.999% also. It is 100. That 100% is called a pari. Pari means all around, not leaving even a smallest iota. No. Iksha means to see. To see means not with the eyes alone. We should be able to see the physical body, physiological system, and we should be able to see the mind, the manomaya. Many people think that mind is inaccessible to our eyes, but no. If we develop a quality to see, this see is, I used to write in my books like S-E-E, all capitals. Not only by the eye, not by the eye, it is something deeper. So if we will be able to see the physical body, physiological system, manomayam, and even deeper mayam, vijnanamayam also, we should be able to see. That is what is called pariksha. Pariksha, complete understanding, 100% understanding of the individual. Then we will know what is the problem, how the problem is affecting the person, how the person is behaving, what is the cause, what is the seed of the problem, and what are the technique we need to use so that we can remove the cause. All those things are there. It is called yogic anatomy, yogic physiology, yogic psychology, yogic deeper science, and then yogic methodology of doing pariksha. So all those things are the foundation for yoga therapy. That is why we are able to do samanam, shodhanam, and swatantiram. I say as a very big one, but it takes only very little. The person comes, we do some consultation for the first time, we give some course. The person comes again after a week or two, we do the pariksha and we modify the practices. Third time comes, fourth time comes, fifth or sixth time, the person will cross the second stage, shodhanam. The person may come with some problem like low back pain. After 5 or 6 classes, the person, if he practices with the faith regularly, the person will not only have low back pain and the cause of the low back pain, the chances are that he will not get any annamaya problem, pranamaya problem, manomaya problem, and even vijnanamaya problem. The person will be able to move forward and forward and forward. That is what is called yoga. Yoga and yoga therapy. Yoga therapy. Our teacher used to say, because he is so experienced, Krishnamacharya, he says, yoga therapy is as precise as that of a surgical treatment without any surgical instruments. I repeat, yoga therapy is exactly like a surgical therapy. It works exactly where the effect should be needed. Surgical therapy without the usage of any surgical instrument. How it is possible? Because he used to say to all the people, you study the X-rays or laboratory, but we study the person in action. We ask the person to walk this way or that way. We ask the person just to bend down, lift. That's all. We do. Our examinations are not laboratory oriented, not on papers. We study the person completely. All our chemical examinations like blood, all those things are chemical examination, but we do it deeply by studying the person in every action. Then we are able to study what is deep. And the third one, I do not know how we study the mind. It is by mastering our own mind. If a yoga practitioner is able to master his or her own mind, then others' minds are exactly like an open book to you. You will be able to see the mind of the person as you see an opened book. Open book. It is such a simple one. You can get what information you need to take from the mind, and you will know what you need to do so that the mind becomes more and more clear. All these things are in yoga therapy. That is why we are able to give such a precise therapy. I used to say yoga therapy is just a answer to 3 questions. Yoga therapy is nothing but answer to 3 simple questions. What effect you should provide, where the effect should be provided, and on whom you should provide that effect. What effect, where the effect, and on whom the effect. That means we should study the person completely, do pariksha. We should know the person's ahara, that is food discipline, and already existing lifestyle. If you do not know the food discipline and lifestyle, then we will not be able to introduce our yoga. So this is very, very important one. So, and then you should also study the problem. Why the person is able to walk freely, now he is not able to do. So you need to study the problem and how the problem is affecting the person. That's also very important. Problem is one, problem of the problem is much more deeper. So it's only a physical problem, but it could affect the monomayam. So we need to study not only the problem, but also the problem of the problem. Then we need to do little more deeper analysis to find what is the cause. And through some simple practice, 20 minutes a day for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, symptomatic will be removed. Then the curative of the cause can be done in 3 months or 4 months or 6 months, or sometimes some Vijnanamayam problem, it may take around 2 years or 3 years. It is possible. You read any Veda yoga text, they say, whatever disease that cannot be healed by other modalities can be cured by yoga. These words are not empty words, please. Nowadays, you know what happens? We are not able to see. We are not able to see it frequently. So we think, no, these are all untrue. Just to give some attention, they give all those things. No. Such people cannot tell a lie in their textbooks. All Vedic textbooks are 100% pure. It comes from such a pure-hearted people, such a perfected people. What I want to say in this group is, if you are not able to see, please go deeper, you will be able to see. Now at present, I am not able to see. Yes, go deep, you will be able to see. That is what yoga therapy is. The world is very much requiring this yoga therapy. I want all of you to integrate yoga in your system and provide. Therapy is not just physical ailment, physiological ailments. No. If the person is not able to achieve the highest 100%, then that person needs yoga. So even if you are an engineer or an architect or a teacher teaching language, try to introduce this one, yoga. Then people will get perfect solace. Then from the solace, from they reach harmony, then their life would be perfect. Never think that yoga is only asana, pranayama, dharana, dhyana alone. No, more and more and more. You can integrate this yoga in every second of your life and other people's life also. It is called yoga and yoga therapy. Nowadays, you know what happens? Many people, they have to take lifelong medication. It is going to give some problem to the liver and kidney. Without tablets, they may not be able to survive. With the tablet, these organs, internal organs, are going to get affected. Now you can introduce yoga. Then, first, the side effects, unwanted effects can be nullified. Second, the quality of activity of the drug will enhance. Then, slowly, the requirement of the drug will reduce. So, if we know the principles of yoga therapy, then we can introduce, even for highly advanced, complicated, diseased people, yes, we can definitely do a lot. Say, for example, I have seen a lot of multiple sclerosis people. It affects the brain. So all their motor, sensory functions will get reduced in different grades. Very, very difficult to introduce other things. Already their mind is very depressed. But yoga, yes, yoga is. I want to give only one more example. I do not want to give all. One lady had come with bird phobia for 50 years. When she was 5 years old, she returned from her school and entered into her room. And inside the room, there was a bird. And on seeing this girl entering into the room, the bird got afraid of and it started to fly hither and thither. So many commotion happened in a minute's time. She was utterly in panic. She ran out of her house. Not only in the room, she ran out of her house. And from that day onwards, she developed this called bird phobia. To the extent, now she is 55 years old. When I met her, she said, I go outside in my car, doctor. If I see some birds are sitting close to my car, because she was from another country, France. In other countries, birds used to sit on the very closely. Even if you sit, it will come closer to you also, like this. Anyway, if I see a bird very close to my car, I will not open my car door. I just remain inside the car until the bird flew away. That's what she said. And if I walk on a street and if I see some birds are sitting on the side of the street, then I will cross the road and go to the other side of the street. That was the situation when I see her. I give case studies to my students. I go there to teach yoga therapists, train yoga therapists. And as a part of this training program, I get some students who are suffering from actual problem. They come in front of us and in front of all the yoga therapist trainers, I used to give this case study. So she came as a case study and I gave some practices. Practice only for 25 minutes. 25 minutes. And she practiced with the mantra. Again, one more important thing is mantra. Such a very powerful tool. Mantra, chanting mantra. I gave her a small practice with mantra, with a picture of the bird, Garuda. You all know Garuda. Garuda is the big bird called eagle. And in our mythology, this Garuda is the vehicle of the god Vishnu and Lakshmi. I asked her to get a picture of this god flying on the Garuda and do the chant Om Garudaya Namaha. She chanted every day. Somehow she developed some faith and she did the practice very regularly. And she said in 3 weeks' time, she was rid of her fear. And then she joined our yoga therapy program. And recently, last 10 days, I went to their country and gave certificate. She had completed all the modules. She said 1 week before, absolutely, I do not have any fear, but I have not yet touched the bird. That's all. Otherwise, when the bird is there, it can be very close to me, or I can also go close and sit very close to the bird. Nothing happens. See, this is what is called Shodhana, removal of the cause of the problem. Now she is absolutely free. It is possible only through all the tools and technologies available in yoga therapy. It is so simple. People cannot even imagine what miracle it could do. That's what I have been seeing all through these 30 years as I am working as yoga therapist. I want you to reflect on those things. And I'm not saying that only yoga and yoga therapists can do this one. You may be as psychologist. I saw a psychologist speaking. Yes, she can also introduce the concept of yoga. They're all very simple. In olden days, yoga was taught to children only. You should know this very clearly. Yoga is not such a big, complicated thing. Nothing. It is so simple that it was taught only to children from the age of maybe 15, 16, 20, up to the age of 20. During their study period, yoga was taught. We are all, I'm sure, all the participants are more than 25 years, and it was taught to children below 25 years. Please take up yoga, and if possible, yoga therapy. Then every one of us can integrate in our action, and we can do a lot of service to the humanity. With this, I want to close my session. I welcome all your questions. Please, if you have any questions, I'm ready to elaborate on.
Participants, you can raise your questions.
Thank you. I'm getting a lot of appreciation. Wonderful, sir. Very good, sir, like this. But I want your questions. If you have any questions related to yoga and yoga therapy, yes.
Sir, namaskaram, sir. Sir,
Pardon?
am I audible to you? Namaskaram, sir.
Namaskaram. Namaskaram. Yes.
I'm Dr. Shyamala Vijay Siva. Thank you so much for the wonderful session.
Your question is?
Know that yoga therapy is nothing but 80% of yoga itself. And you please throw some light on the don'ts in yoga therapy, contradictions in yoga therapy, and what is the scope and the limitations of yoga therapy, please.
I really do not know what you understand by yoga. Yoga means whatever technique that helps you to move from this position to this position. This is what Sri Ramanujacharya says. Apratyasya praptasihi yogaha. You are in this position, and if any tool is going to help you to move even 1 inch above, that is what is called yoga. Second, karmashu kausalam yogam. That means dexterity in action is called yoga.
Okay.
So in that sense, my teacher used to say, who is ready for yoga? Sri Krishnamacharya said, whoever is breathing is ready for yoga. So there is absolutely no contradiction, nothing called limitations, so long the person is breathing. Yes. If a person is breathing, yes. See, with my teacher, Sri Desikachar, I visited intensive coronary care unit place. There, he goes and goes and teaches some yoga technique for the person who is convalescing in intensive coronary care unit. What is the limitation? Absolutely no. The person is breathing, yes, the person is ready for yoga therapy. From that place, we bring them slowly up like this. So you cannot think of any limitation. This is not indicated. This is contraindicated. Absolutely no. I can say because I've been working in this field for 30 years. 30 years. And I have seen my teacher working for so many years. 20 years I was with my teacher like this. He has never asked the person, no, it is contraindicated. No, absolutely no. From that question, I can see that the questioner has something in her mind which she was taught or she thinks that it is contraindicated. If we can share in that particular condition, is yoga indicated or not? If you have some idea like this, then you can tell me, I will tell you. Please. You have anything in your mind which is contraindication for yoga therapy? Okay. Any other questions?
Yes, sir. We have next question.
Yes.
How to overcome depression? What is the yogic tool?
Where does depression come from?
From mind.
From mind. Yes.
Manonmaya.
Yoga from?
Manonmaya kosha.
Yeah, manomaya. You say manomaya, but don't add the word manomaya kosha. It is a wrong word. Somehow it has been in vogue for many centuries. Anyway, let us not bother about that one. It is from manomayam or mind. And yoga is a mano shastra. That means yoga is for the mind. That's why Patanjali had given yoga for the mind. Manomaya, it is for the mind. That means if anything coming from the mind, we can clear the mind only through yoga. There is no other way. I say very emphatically, there is no other way because it is very specific. Very, very, very specific. Yoga is the only way. Good. You should know what is the meaning for the word Shastra. It's a very common word because in Tamil also we say Shastram. Shastram. Shastra means Shaswatam iti Shastraha. That means it is perfected one. It is complete and perfected one. That means you cannot add one word or you cannot remove one word from that text. That is what is called a Shastra. You know what happens with most of the science books and all medical books, everything. Every year they upgrade the book. Once they upgrade a book, then the old ones are invalid. Am I making any sense to you? This is what you see. It's what you see. But in the case of yoga, it is called a Shastra. It is going to be the perfected one. You cannot add one word or delete one word. Patanjali had written his book 5,000 years before. Still it is valid without any addition of a word or deletion of word. So it is a perfected one. It comes from the perfected person. It comes as a perfect action of such person, and it is going to guide for centuries and millions of years. It is going to be like this. So it says, Yogena Chittasya, for any mental problem, yoga. Or a little more clear, yoga therapy. For depression, yoga therapy is the only way. Very simple. I told you, a bird phobia, 3 weeks practice. 50 years she followed all medical systems because she was in other country, France. So she consulted so many people. 3 weeks of practice, she said it has gone. So for all depressive people, please take up yoga therapy in a very big way. With faith and practice, you do the yoga therapy. I'm sure you'll be a different person in 3 or 4 weeks' time.
Sir,
We have a next question.
sir, ma'am, I have not yet completed, so please give me. He is such a precious teacher.
Okay, ma'am.
Sir, once again, sir, sorry to disturb you.
Yes,
so
sorry.
the pariksha comes before all Samanam, Shodhanam, and Swatantram, right? So first we have to examine in all the aspects and then go for that. This Shodhanam is only cleansing, or it includes after cleansing further examination also. And also one more question, maybe I want to put the question in this sense. Many yoga books I have seen contraindications like that. So what I feel, for example, I want to say for those who are having hypertension and those who are having ischemic heart disease or cardiac disorders, there is a generalized notion that we should not give Kapalabhati. Kapalabhati is contraindicated like that. So what now I have understood from your answer is maybe that tool may not be indicated right now for that person. So instead of Kapalabhati, we can use other yogic tools. Am I right? If the understanding
Sorry,
is
madam.
correct.
Sorry.
Ah.
You are not absolutely correct. I tell you.
Please
I tell
clarify,
you.
sir. Please clarify.
Please. Why do we do pariksha? By doing pariksha, we know what effect I should give to this person, where the effect should be, and on whom the effect, on whom the person, what is the person. Once we study the person and what effect and where the effect, then accordingly we select some technique. We select some technique which is only yoga. I will not select Kapalabhati for that man. It doesn't mean that Kapalabhati is contraindicated. No, it is not for this person. Say, for example, if you are running a shop, I go to your shop and ask a notebook and a pen. Will you give a packet of sugar to me? No. The person is very clear. I want only note and pen. You need to give only note and pen. Not that, oh, sugar is beautiful, you take it home. Absolutely no. So pariksha is to understand what effect, where the effect, and on whom the effect. If you analyze these three things, then we select appropriately in whatever technique I need to give. Maybe I can give Virabhadrasana, maybe I can give this asana, that asana. Then I modify each technique to suit that person. I don't select a technique and give the technique as it is. No, I will select, modify. There are a lot of, because our methodology of examination, pariksha is a very detailed one. You cannot make any mistake. You cannot make a mistake. I don't select Kapalabhati. That doesn't mean that Kapalabhati is contraindicated. It's such a beautiful technique, but it is not good for him. He needs only a note and pen. I will give only note and pen, not the sugar. You understand, madam? Please reflect on this. Yoga therapy, as I told you, you are here, I will make him here. I will make him here. I will make him here. Maybe after some time, the selection will be entirely different and he'll be able to do anything. All asanas, all pranayama, everything. Yes. Any other questions, madam?
Yeah, we have one more question.
Please.
Does yoga therapy rectify diabetes?
Yes, definitely. We work as a, please, okay. We work as a complementary science. That is, along with the allopathic system, we introduce our techniques. Slowly, with regular practice, the requirement of medications will come down, and yoga will take the upper hand. Then he will be able to manage the condition without any medication for many years. Here I want to tell you a very funny story I have to share with you. A student had come to me for his diabetes. He was a very committed student, but he was taking medicine for many years for diabetes. I asked him, please take the medicine and do this yoga. So he was taking this medicine for many years. The dosage was almost plateau, straight. He was taking a good quantity of medications, and after combining yoga with the medication, slowly the sugar level drops down. He visits doctor. I also encourage them to go to their own doctor regularly, little more regularly than before. So he visits his medical person, and the doctor was very happy that the drug is working well. He started to reduce the dosage. He was very happy. And after some time, you know what happens? This is the interesting point. After some time, he was taking a very minimal maintenance dosage. Even with that minimal maintenance dose, he used to get hypoglycemia. That is, sugar level goes below normal, hypoglycemia. Then the doctor got some suspicion. What do you do? Why you are getting, for this minimal maintenance dosage, why do you get hypoglycemia? What do you do now? He said, I'm combining yoga along with my treatment. Then you know what the doctor said? Don't do yoga. That means, because he's a true person, because according to our medical science, I'm also a medical doctor. Medical doctor says, for diabetes, you need to take medication lifelong. Right? But now he is not able to give even minimal maintenance dosage. So he said, don't do yoga because it is making you hypoglycemia. He came and reported to me, and I told him, please don't go to the doctor again because he is not open to these ideas. I have seen a lot of people where surgery is absolutely necessary. Without surgery, you may not be able to walk. But after 3-5 days, they are able to walk freely without any pain. It is possible. I have seen a lot of, I told you in the beginning, SLE, systemic lupus erythematosus, their doctor, because in other countries, I cannot do anything with the medication. I never interfere with medication. You please go to your doctor. Then the doctor said, you don't require medication, which no medical people will endorse this statement. It is possible. It is possible. So diabetes, yes, provided they practice with the faith. Faith is the most important component because it should come from the mind. The state of mind is very, very important in our activities. Faith and practice are very, very important one. That is called as both the wings of a bird. If you want to reach any goal, you need both the wings to work properly. Faith and practice. Yes, diabetes, yes. Not only diabetes, many intractable problem, yes. You read Yoga Rahasya, there's a book which says very clearly, whatever health condition that cannot be cured by other system, yoga, regular practice of yoga can do. Yes. Any other question?
Yeah, we have one more question.
Please.
If the disc L4 and L5 disc are diffuse and there is a bulging, what asanas help to cure?
It is not the asana. What they affect, where they affect, and on whom they affect. Yes, I've seen lot of thousands of people where, okay, I want to share one experience with my teacher. One lady had come from Bombay here, almost some 30 years before. That lady had come 30 years before from Bombay to Chennai because she heard about our teacher Sri Desigachan. For her, this problem, L4, L5, S1, disc herniation. It is such a common problem. Such a common problem. So she came here and she said during consultation, I was with my teacher during consultation. She said 8 doctors in Bombay suggested only surgery. If not, you will lose the functionality of your lower limb and other things, all those things. But she did not want to undertake this surgery. So she flew from Bombay and arrived in stretcher. Yes, my teacher examined and he asked me to teach all the technique. So I saw her both in the morning and evening. Within 5 days, she was able to walk freely. And within 2 weeks, I think she stayed for 2 weeks, she was able to climb up and down stairs. And then my teacher said, yes, madam, you can go to your place and maybe you can come after 3 months for strengthening processes. She said, I'm not going to go to my house straight. I'm going to go to all 9 surgeons and tell them without surgery, I'm able to walk, I'm able to squat, I'm able to go up and down like this. I want to demonstrate to all the people so that they will not induce fear in other people like L4, L5. No, it is possible, madam. I have seen thousands and thousands of people. Good. Here I want to say one important thing. That is, it is L4, L5, S1 is such a common one. Second commonest problem next to common cold. You know, when there is wind blowing, you get sneezing. You open a old book, you get sneezing. Allergy is the commonest problem affecting human system. First commonest. Second commonest is low back pain. Such a common problem. Now it is a big business for most of the people. No, never afraid of what people are saying. Simple yoga practice, 2 days or 3 days, 5 days maximum, people will be normal. Very common, very common. We can easily avoid surgery. We can easily avoid many painkiller intake, all those things. Yes, it is possible. For your question, yes, L4, L5, S1, disc bulge, yes, it is possible.
We have one more question. Is there any cure for chronic kidney disorder?
Chronic?
Chronic kidney disorder.
I have seen a lot of people with the transplantation, lot of things, but we can definitely bring from this stage to this level, slowly. Yes, but I do not have any long-term effect. That is, I have never followed, because these people have not followed with me for many years. If I say after 2 years, 3 years, I may not be able to say now because I have not followed them, or my students have not come to me regularly. If they come, yes, I can definitely bring this place to this place. That I can assuredly say. But we have to do something, because we cannot rely only on medication. All medication have to live only through liver and kidney. So better combine yoga therapy for such people also. Yes.
People are asking, refer any book for yoga therapy. Suggesting any book for yoga therapy. Can you suggest?
We need to learn from the master, because it is individually different. It is individually different. For low back pain, for 4 people, my courses would be entirely different. If 10 people come with a migraine, 10 courses would be different. It all depends on pariksha and then the foundation yoga. We need to be very clear about yoga and how to do the examination. Then it is going to be individually distinct. Individually, I have seen my teacher doing consultation for thousands and thousands of people. I have never seen 2 courses similar. Because every individual is different. So we cannot prescribe one common course. Absolutely no. So it is like an art. You have to, there are 2 things in yoga therapy. One is called a principle, second is called a practice. Principles, yes, you can get some books. I'm also writing a book on principles and practice of yoga therapy. It is going to come in 7 volumes, of which 2 volumes have come, another 5. Third volume I have almost written, 4th volume, 6. There are 7 volumes. But I don't suggest even my book also. Go and study with a real teacher, with the student in front of you. That is the only way. Of course, the second best is reading some books which are only on principle, but practice is like an artwork. Like an artwork that you have to develop. After inculcating all the principles, something will evolve. Yes, madam. Any other question?
Yeah. Is there any tool in yoga therapy to cure asthma?
Yeah. Very easy, madam. They have to come. They have to come, do the practice regularly. Lots of people I have seen.
The next question is, why varicose vein occurs?
Why varicose? Of course, the cause is, even in allopathic textbook, you can see long standing. But the ultimate cause is there is a problem in the valves in the deep veins. We have 2 sets of veins called superficial vein. Second is called a deep vein. In the deep vein, there are some valves. So the valves do not function efficiently because of long standing and stasis of blood in the veins. Because of this, the quality of the valves will go. Some people may have familial tendency for the inefficient valvular function of the deep veins. So they also develop, and that's why many people get, after pregnancy, they get deep vein thrombosis, or people who are working, standing all the time, they develop this one. So the problem is only valves in the deep vein. That is the cause. So they have to do something, this one, practice, yoga practice, suggested practice, so that slowly something will happen.
Next
Yes.
question. Why do lumps occur in our body?
Why do?
Lumps.
I don't get it. Why do?
LUMPS. LUMPS. Lumps.
Lumps.
Yes.
Lumps. Okay. Lumps there are two types, isn't it? One is called benign lumps. Second is called malignant lumps, cancer. Of the two, which one you want to know? Is it benign or cancerous growth? Any extra growth is called a lump. There are two forms, benign, which are not life-threatening, whereas the second one is cancerous lump, which is not good for our long living. So which one you want to know? If it is a benign one, it can run in the family. So they can stay any part of the body and we need not actually do anything. Why? It is from the family. We cannot say why. But if it is cancerous one, it is because of the Vijnanamayam problem. So there is some inefficient functioning of our Vijnanamayam.
It is mentioned it is cancerous lump.
Yes, if it is a cancerous one, that comes from the Vijnanamayam, the deepest part of our constitution. So we need to go much deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper to do something. For such condition, Samanam, I led them to medical profession, whatever they do, surgery, chemotherapy, radiotherapy, immunotherapy, or hormonal therapy, whatever they do, you please go through. I go much more deeper and deeper and deeper. After exhausting all those things, maybe it may take surgery 2 weeks or 3 weeks. After that, they come to yoga and we do some yoga therapy to go to the cause of the problem, which is in the Vijnanamayam.
We have one more question. Why stress is affecting lymph nodes, especially for the lymph nodes in the armpits of women?
Lymph node, I understood. But why? Which condition is affecting the lymph nodes here?
Its question is why stress is affecting the lymph nodes?
Stress.
Yeah.
Stress. Oh,
Stress.
stress can affect, yeah. Stress can affect any system, madam. Stress can affect any system. Stress people get asthma. If they have asthmatic tendency in their constitution, it comes out in the form of asthma. It can affect the heart hypertension. It can affect the kidney function will go. Stress is a universal precipitator of inborn problems. Stress can affect, including lymph node. That's all. Stress. And of course, yoga is the best way to remove to do something with the stress. Yes. Yes, madam.
Okay.
What is the next question?
No more questions, sir.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. I'm really very happy to be with you all and with all questions, everything. Only one word I want to say, one sentence I want to say. Yoga and yoga therapy are very, 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 very simple. Every breathing person can do this one and they can achieve miraculous effects by regular practice and faith. Please. Please. For
Sir,
you.
I want to say something.
Yes.
Really, we are blessed to have you in this same webinar.
Thank you, sir.
As a healer and a yoga therapist, I feel blessed to hear your words. It made that we are proud to be yoga therapists, sir. Your words are making me to do more for the society.
Please.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. The world requires you, world yoga therapist, but yoga therapist with the full foundation of yoga and the principles of yoga therapy. Then our actions will be perfect as yoga. Then our actions will definitely do something. Thank you. Thank you all. I thank the organizers for giving me this wonderful opportunity to meet you all. Even though it is not in person, it is good. I'm really very happy. Thank you, madam.
Sir, participants wants your consultation or your contact number.
My contact number is தம்பி சொல்லுப்பா வேணா
8124
நீ சொல்லு
8124
8124
50 2999.
50
2999.
Message.
He will write down. My son will write
Yeah.
down.
Thank you, sir. Sir has given us the very nice session on yoga therapy. So he has said that leaving incendent activity not be changed by any means. If we change the quality of action, then only we have the quality of life, and that can only be done through mind. Every action should be in dexterity. Then the Shraddha, the faith, which is the most important one for healing any disease, and Shraddha on the yoga and yoga therapy is must for the care seeker. And sir has also mentioned the Nadi Pariksha, the Pariksha, which we have to look after every aspect, like what is the effect, where is the effect, and on whom is the effect. It can be done through the Ahara, Vihara, Vyavara, and Achara. And we need to find out the problem of the problem, where it is the deeply rooted within itself, and then go to the cause again deeper. So find out the cause and then start the healing. And sir has again given the principles of the yoga therapy, that is Samanam, Shodhanam, and Swatantrata. So Samanam is to removal of the symptoms first, and to Shodhanam, using all the tools of the yoga therapy to cure the problem, and then Swatantrata, giving the freedom from even from the yoga therapy also. That is how I interpreted. With this, I thank sir for giving such a remarkable knowledge on yoga therapy and integrating our mind, our body and soul together. So with this, I thank you, sir.
I should thank you. You did a very good gist of my talk. Beautiful. I enjoyed your talk. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Is Dr. Elango is with us now?
It's
now?
time for.
He will join.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's coming. May I now call upon Dr. R. Ilangovan, Professor and Head, FIST Maher, to deliver. Before going on to the session, we just want feedback from the participants.
Yes.
Any
please.
two participants just come up and give the feedback.
Yeah, please.
Respected Maher Institution and Head of Yoga and Yoga Therapy Department, Dr. Ilangovan sir, and all the professors and all the speakers. See, this faculty development program, which lasted for 5 days, it was really praiseworthy, and we have got the ability to learn more and try to clarify our doubts, and we can improve ourselves and make a change in our life, and also we can make a change in others' life also. Interestingly, in this faculty development program, a lot of eminent speakers, not only from India, but also from all around the world, from Singapore, Malaysia, Canada, Argentina. So they speak even a lot about our philosophy. That too, interestingly, many spoke very well and in depth about Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. And a lot of good teachers like Dr. N. Chandrasekharan sir, without studying or without getting any input from him, it is not possible to do yoga therapy by any one student anywhere in India. So it is a great privilege to have him. And similarly, Dr. Ilangovan sir spoke about yoga and stress management, and yoga and education. And one doctor from Singapore, even he has used all the props like all the vertebrae, knee joints, and he has explained very well about the spirometry and how he is using that gadget and treating. See, he want to emphasize that yoga is very good scientifically also. So it gives immense pressure to thank, and I am finding short of words to thank. And see, we have gained very, very, very much. Thank you so much, and thank you so much all the students who are all involved with Professor Ilangovan sir, and also all the speakers. They speak about communication, karma yoga, education, everything. All walks of life. This seminar made us very useful. Definitely, sir, Karmashu Kaushalam Yogam. Definitely, we will try to impart this your advice in each and every activities of our lives. Whatever is possible for us, definitely we will. And architecture, one speaker combined architecture with yoga. See, we thought that architecture was related to buildings and all. So it was also very, 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 very nice. So definitely we will become architects of yoga, and definitely we will do Karmashu Kaushalam Yogam, and definitely we will try to unite ourselves with our Supreme Atman, ourselves with the society, ourselves with the universe. Thank you once again. Thank you.
Our next participant. No one is there. So, okay.
Lavi, can I go on? Go ahead.
Yeah, one more participant is there. Yeah, you can go on.
Excellent session. That's all I can say. There is no word to express my gratitude and feelings, sir. Actually, I'm sitting in US. My timing is like, I started the class a little late. I started around 4 o'clock in the morning. Like, that's the second session. So morning sessions, like I was like, 12 to 1, I had another class, and I went for, I just took a nap like 3 hours. Then again, I'm with this session. I just in Brahma Muhurta, hearing all good things about yoga and yoga therapy is really excellent. I have been doing this this is my 5th day. So from past 5 days, it has been a great experience for me. And I was like, it's like doing meditation early in the morning, hearing about yoga therapy. And today session was extremely good. So I wanted to thank Dr. Ilangovan sir for this beautiful sessions. And I would suggest, like, if it continues for another 5-6 days or for the whole month, I would be very happy. So he is like picking everyone, hand-picked people as speakers. So it's very nice to hear. And today's session was really, really good, sir. So I just wanted to know only one thing. I know that you suggested a book called Yoga Rahasya. I just went and I was looking at it. It says it's written by Krishnamacharya, or it's like Yoga Rahasya by I think it's Nada Muni, and it is written by Krishnamacharya. Is that the right book, sir?
Yes, Nada Muni has bestowed this book, but it was lost, and Sri Krishnamacharya retrieved in a very yogic way.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much for that suggestion, sir.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for the feedback. Let us move on. May I now call upon Dr. R. Ilangovan, Professor and Head, FIST Maher, to deliver vote of thanks for. I welcome you, sir.
Good evening to one and all. Hari Om. The objectives of this faculty development program is to promote the roles and responsibilities of the faculty members, staff members in modern higher education, familiarizing and exploring new process in higher education, nurturing values and ethics, recognizing thyself of the concern. So such objectives, I think we could achieve in this 5 days program. The top of all is the guest lecture given by Dr. N. Chandrasekharan, the valedictory address. As you know very well, Dr. Chandrasekharan sir, he returned from Belgium 2 days back. Such a wanted yoga therapist throughout the world. Dr. N. Chandrasekharan gives yogic world its strongest pillar of strength, that is yoga therapy. His dedication and devotion have been the source of inspiration for crores of yogis, yogic enthusiastic all over the world. He has given the blueprint of yoga therapy based on yogic basic concepts. We can easily come to the conclusion that his books, he wrote books on yoga therapy and yoga. His books, definitely we can call it as the Bible of yoga therapy. We could understand that there are so many systems in therapeutical area, more than 5,000 systems, that the Ayurvedic system is the best to examining the patients. Like that, as far as yoga therapy is concerned, Dr. N. Chandrasekharan is the authority. We can easily tell that he is the Ornish of India in yoga therapy. He is one of the finest yogi of all times in the modern world. So such a great personality is with us. On behalf of you, we express our sincere thanks to him for having graced this occasion. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
And also at the outset, it is with real pleasure we record our indebtedness for Sri A.N. Radhakrishnan sir, our Chancellor. He is the main architect of Indian education and instrumental for transforming the education in Tamil Nadu, particularly for the welfare of the poor. So we are indebted and we are thanking him at this occasion. We are also grateful to Mrs. Jayanti Radhakrishnan, our rector madam. He is the instrumental for our progress. Actually, she is the pride of women in India. We express our thanks to her. Our sincere thanks to all Meenakshi Ammal Trust members, the other architects of our institutions. We express our humble gratitude and heartfelt thanks to Professor Dr. R.S. Neelakandan, the Vice Chancellor, a great visionary. We acknowledge our deep sense of gratitude to Professor Dr. C. Kritika, our registrar, a multifaceted women administrator par excellence, and also the embodiment of education in India. We extend our wholehearted thanks to our finance officer, Malik sir, Dean Research, academic officer, and IPAC director, Dr. Shyam Sivaswamy, dean and principals, professors, associate professors, assistant professors, and other academic and administrative staff. We wish to record our sincere thanks to all the experts who graced these 5 days with our invitation and made it a grand success. And also we express our thanks to Dr. Saroja, Dr. K.S. Balasubramaniam, and Lara, Dr. Shanti, and Dr. V. Subbulakshmi, and our PhD scholars Ratna Sabhabadi and Sukumar. They helped us to get all the other guests and for their lecture program. We thank them once again. And also our special thanks to all the participants. The participants, you are the heroes, you are the heroines. And we express our sincere thanks for having around more than 500 registrations we had. It is because of you. It is because of your love on yoga and yoga therapy. We express our sincere thanks once again to you. And also, last but not the least, our sincere gratitude is also extended to all of our faculty of yogic sciences and therapy, our FIST staff members, PhD scholars, and students, and particularly social media. So for all those who have helped in one way or other at this juncture, we express our sincere thanks to you for having graced this occasion and made as a grand success with all your blessings. So once again, on behalf of Maher, we express our sincere thanks. Thank you very much. Thank you, one and all. Thanks.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Good.
It's our kind request to please switch on the cameras for a group picture.
Thank you. I will. Bye.
Within you is the hidden God, the immortal soul. Within you is the inexhaustible spiritual treasure. Within you is the fountain of joy and happiness. Practice, feel, assert, and enjoy the supreme. With this, we will have a prayer. Please join us along with me. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now I request all the participants to raise up for national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you all.